felt so rancid. I felt so full of anxiety.
I've faced mental health challenges for a long time.
Mummy, why does Daddy keep crying?
I just people pleased everybody. So Ash, we've spoke about mental health previously. Can you tell me about your worst of times?
Yeah, I can. There was a time when it was before I'd got the support that I needed, and I was sitting at home. I was lying on the bed upstairs. Kids got their friends downstairs, and Sharon was making dinner, and I felt so rancid. I felt so full of anxiety and so depressed. Didn't know what to do with myself. Just needed to do something. So I left the house without telling anyone, and I got in my car, and I just decided to drive. And I didn't know where I was driving to. I just wanted to drive away from how I was feeling. And I just drove, and I drove about 2 miles from where I live, and I just parked the car in a lay-by. And I just sat there, and I just didn't know what to do. I wanted to go somewhere to stop feeling so ill. And home wasn't the place, which in itself is awful because home's meant to be a place of safety. And in reality, I knew there was nowhere to drive to. So I just sat there. I just sat there and just felt as bad as I possibly could. The reality is, I wanted rescuing. I would have given my right arm for someone to tap on the window and go, Ash, I'll screw the top off your head and I'll take out all that pain and I'll screw it back on and you'll be okay. And I drive past that lay-by quite a lot now, and it reminds me of how awful it was. But it also reminds me of how many other people are going through that. How many lay-bys are people sitting in, not knowing what to do. And I eventually drove home and still felt ill, and just remember that was an awful time that I went through, and a lot of people go through, and not good memories. And I suppose you'd never want it to be a good memory.
No.
It's a memory of an awful time, and that's something that you can share as well, your worst of times.
Yeah, I mean, I've faced mental health challenges for a long time. Throughout my childhood, I faced a lot of bullying and mental health challenges on its own. So together was really, really hard. And then moving on to when I went to uni, I think from the ages of 16 to 18 were probably my worst times. When I had that period of transition to university, I chose to live on my own completely. And I thought that at the time it was the best decision I was ever going to make. There'd be no mess, There'd be no arguments. But actually, all I wanted to do was go home. And like you say, home is meant to be a happy place, but I'd go back home and I'd come back and I couldn't feel, I was never settled, and I wanted to feel settled. I ended up going to antidepressants for a while, but then eventually decided to come off them. And then I moved into my second year at university, and on my second day, I got hit by a lorry on the M1 on my way to my first day at my new job at the time, and I was spun across all 4 lanes of the motorway into the central reservation, and I was stuck facing the oncoming traffic in the fast lane. And I think that is where I thought, what is life?
Yeah. Did you think that was it?
Life is way too short. I thought that is it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know at that point how I was going to get out. And as a result of that, I now live with PTSD. But I feel that moving forward from that's my turning point, actually.
Wow. Okay.
Because if that accident didn't happen to me, I wouldn't be where I am now. It wouldn't have given me the change in mindset. It made me realise life is way too short, and if you have a dream, you need to go for it.
Yeah. Tell me about that PTSD. So how does that affect you on a daily? I mean, if you're comfortable talking about how does it affect you on a daily basis?
Yeah, so I now live with nightmares, flashbacks. Every day when I'm on the road, I will have a trigger. But it's over the years of living with this, it's been finding ways to manage it. PTSD is such a hard thing to live with. It's vile. You can be absolutely fine and think you're on the way to getting completely better, and then something that somebody else would feel is very small is something very, very, very big to you.
Yeah.
Like I can't go on the dodgems anymore at the fair.
Wow. Okay.
I'm too scared. I think I can't go karting, and
Yeah.
I used to do all of these things that I can't do now. It's hard, and I just think if I would have rather have that accident never have happened to me, but at the same time, I don't think it would have given me the push to get to where I am now.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting, isn't it, that I never want to be someone that always polishes a turd. It always says something good can come out of something bad, because that's not life. That doesn't always happen. But one of the things I remember is one of the lowest times was regularly crying in the bathroom at home, and hearing my daughter ask my wife, "Mummy, why does Daddy keep crying?" It was just like, oh my God, when you look back at that, and that still really hits me, and yet I do have a choice of what to do with that. Yeah, that upsets me now, and it always will, but it also drives me to try and make the very best of my time with my kids. And right now they're 13 and 10, so they're quite young, and I spend more time with them than I've ever done. I actually really appreciate now that being present rather than buying them presents is more important than ever. And I'm not some overpowering dad that has to do everything, but I'm just conscious of we get one go at this.
Yes.
And unfortunately, life throws up shit, and we've both experienced that. But it's trying, and I get it's really hard, it's trying to make something from that, isn't it? I mean, you talk about bullying. How was bullying physical? Was it emotional? Was it both?
It was both.
Okay.
So I used to get my hair pulled till I was on the floor. That was in primary school, and I had problems with a teacher as well. That was emotionally. And it was horrible. I had bruises on my arms from being physically pinched.
Wow.
Because I was in front of a person in the line, and I think it's having that moment of realization, isn't it, that actually I'm stronger than this, I'm stronger than they are. And it's trying to find that way forward, but for ages it was so hard.
Did you blame yourself?
I didn't understand why it was happening. I didn't know what I did wrong. In school, you have different groups, the popular group, the less popular group, should you say, and maybe the people in the middle. And it shouldn't be that way. But when I was in school, it absolutely was. And I was a person that was in the middle that liked both. And it became very, very hard because the people in the popular group would be the bullies. You shouldn't be hanging around with those. Why are you with those on this day? Or are you going around to this person's house? Can't believe that. And it was realising that actually I didn't have to please everybody. And that goes back to me talking about being a people pleaser, as we spoke about previously. And it was just actually, I don't have to do this. I am better than that. And when did that hit you?
When did that, I don't have to be like them, I can be me? When did you get that?
I think it wasn't until maybe my GCSEs.
Okay.
It took me a while because I just people pleased everybody. And part of me still people pleases now, but in a completely different way. Because that was physically affecting me. and it wasn't nice to live with at all.
You know, and I find that fascinating to encourage you that you realise that quite early on, because it wasn't until quite later in my life that I realised I was a big people pleaser. And I think a lot of that led to me being unwell, about that need to continually please those around people. And when I was really ill, one of my memories, another memory, is my feelings of guilt, my feelings of I'm letting everybody down, that I should have done something to avoid this. It's my fault. Guys like me shouldn't go through this, and just that guilt and that childlike, no, it's almost like you're critically parenting yourself, you're telling yourself off. Just makes you feel even more anxious, just makes you feel even more depressed.
And I mean, that's a very good point actually, because although I feel a lot better now, I still live with the PTSD, but although I feel better in as a whole in comparison to how I used to feel, I still sort of question myself sometimes, and I still feel, why am I feeling like this when I have this life? I have a really nice life with a nice partner, a nice family, a loving family, and I'm very lucky, but it still creeps up sometimes. Even though I feel good, I feel better, it still comes back. Do you find that too?
Oh, totally, yeah. And it's not about getting rid of these feelings. It's about how to manage them.
You have good days and bad days.
Absolutely. You know, and I have a saying that I say to myself, I actually really write it down every single day, that emotions are variable. Today, I will probably have some time when I feel good. And there might be some time today when I don't feel so good, and that's okay. That's life.
Yeah, absolutely. It is life, and I think it's important to recognise when it gets too much. And that's when you should reach out for support and not manage it alone. Because we can have good days, we can have bad days, but when those days get too much, get the support, go for the support.
One of the things that I was taught, a real good technique, is that how are you feeling? Rate it from 1 to 10. If 10 is the best feeling ever in the world, and 0 is I can't go on anymore, if you're having a rough day, where exactly are you on that scale? Because do you know what? Operating on a 7 is okay. I think the world teaches us we've got to be happy all the time. We've got to be ecstatic and excited and driven. That's not realistic. Actually, being a 7 or a 7.5 sometimes, that's okay. If I'm feeling a 4, which I don't really feel anymore, I know I need to do something about that. But it's okay not to be an 8, 9 and 10 every single day.
No one's 100% every day, are they?